Welcome back, everyone. We're back again reviewing some of the new Unearthed Arcana subclasses that came out. I believe these came out about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I didn't get around to it. I've recently put up the ones that came out towards the end of November a couple of days ago. I actually didn't get around to editing it, and it was delayed about a week. But also we were delayed because I didn't realize it went up. I explained it in the last video. I'll put a link in the description above. I think it's up there. It's either there or it's there, whichever way. But you guys can check it out and see if you like it. But anyways, let's dive straight into this. In this Unearthed Arcana, we have 4 new subclasses for the Barbarian, Monk, Paladin, and Warlock, which should be good. Just having a quick scan over the Barbarian, it looks pretty interesting. Something that I think they've needed to dip into for a while, just kind of like the cantrip feel. I haven't looked at the other classes to see if they're kind of in the same style, but let's just dive in and see what we got. So we have Unearthed Arcana 2020 subclasses. I don't know why if they changed up the format for it, because before it just be like Unearthed Arcana, and they'd just say like usually whatever races or whatever classes it was never really said part 1, part 2, part 3. But anyways, I suppose it's neither here nor there, depending on how they want to do their things. But anyways, let's dive straight into it. So we'll start with the Barbarian. At 3rd level, a Barbarian gets the Primal Path feature. Here's a playtest option for the feature, the Path of the Beast. Path of the Beast are barbarians who walk the path of beast draw. Barbarians who walk the path of beast draw their rage from a bestial spark, burning within their souls. That beast howls to be released and bursts forth through the throes of rage. Those who tread this path might be inhabited by a primal spirit or be descended from shapeshifters. You can choose the origin of your feral might or determine it randomly by rolling on the origin beast table. So, just kind of standard things how you choose it. Form of the Beast, your 3rd level Path of the Beast feature. When you enter your rage, you can transform, revealing the bestial power within you. Until your rage ends, you manifest a natural melee weapon, choosing one of the following options each time you rage. Your mouth transforms into a bestial snout or great mandibles, your choice. Your bite deals 1d8 piercing damage on a hit. Once on each of your turns, when you damage a creature with your bite, you regain a number of hit points equal to your Constitution modifier minimum of 1 hit. I wonder how that works, because I know there's some creatures that have bite attacks. Do you have to have a bite attack to do that, or is that like just an unarmed strike essentially? Doesn't really specify. Okay, but anyways, claws. Your hands transform into claws, which deal 1d6 slashing damage on a hit. When you take the attack action on your turn and make an attack with your claws, you can make 1 additional attack using your claws as part of the same action. Interesting. Tail, you grow a lashing spiny tail, which deals 1d12 piercing damage and on a hit has the reach property. Okay, that'd be interesting with if you went for the long range fighting feat. The name is escaping me at the moment, but basically when you have you can make it certain attacks with reach and different features with it and stuff. Bestial Soul, the feral spirit within you grows in power, causing the natural weapons of your form of the beast to count as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage. You can also call on the feral spirits to help you adapt to your surroundings. When you finish a short or long rest, choose one of the following benefits which last until you finish a short or long rest. You gain a swimming speed equal to your walking speed, and you can breathe underwater. That's pretty good. You gain a climbing speed equal to your walking speed, and you can climb difficult surfaces, including upside down on ceilings, without needing to make an ability check. When you jump, you can make a strength athletics check and extend your jump by a number of feet equal to the check's total. Jesus. You can make this special check only once per turn. Okay, sometimes these kind of things, I wish you got it. You chose this and this is what you get, rather than having to constantly change anything back on it. Infectious Fury. When you hit a creature which are natural weapons while you're raging, the spirit within you can curse your target with rabid fury. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, DC equal to 8 plus your constitution modifier plus your proficiency bonus, or suffer one of the following effects, your choice. The target must use its reaction to make a melee attack against another creature of your choice that you can see. Target takes 2d12 psychic damage. That's pretty good. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your Constitution modifier minimum of once. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. And then at 14th level, we get Call of the Hunt, or Call of the Hunt. The beast within grows so powerful that you can spread its ferocity to your allies. When you enter a rage, you can choose a number of willing creatures you can see within 30 feet of you, equal to your Constitution modifier, minimum of 1 creature. Until your rage ends, the chosen creatures gain the Reckless attack feature, and you have advantage on all saving throws against being frightened. You also gain 5 temporary hit points for each creature that accepts the benefits. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your Constitution modifier, a minimum of once. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Okay, I don't know. I get the concept of it, but it doesn't seem that great to me. I don't know, maybe, I don't know, like Totem Barbarian seems a bit better. Having like the mutilation thing where your body kind of grows new appendages and whatnot. If I was them, I would just like keep upping the form more and more and more until you get like maybe a full takeover or a partial takeover. And you do more damage in that way, so like you seem like you're almost fully evolving into your bestial form rather than having different elements of it. I don't know. That would be my idea. But anyways, Monk at 3rd level, a monk gains the Monastic Tradition feature. Here's a playtest option for that feature: the Way of Mercy. Way of Mercy. Monks with the Way of Mercy learn to manipulate the life forces of others to bring aid to those in need. They are wandering physicians to the poor and hurt. However, to those beyond their help, whether ailing or evil, they bring a swift end as an act of mercy. Those who follow the Way of Mercy might be humble members of a religious order, administering to those in the greatest need, making grim choices rooted in reality rather than idealism. Some might be gentle-voiced healers beloved by their communities, while others might be mass bringers of macabre mercies. I'm terrible at pronouncing these. The walkers of this way usually don simple robes with deep cowls, and they often conceal their faces with masks, presenting themselves as the faceless bringers of life and death. If you wear a mask, choose its appearance or determine it randomly by rolling on the merciful mask table. Raven, black and white, crying visage, laughing visage, skull, butterfly. Jesus, that's fucked up. Implements of mercy. You gain proficiency in the insight or medicine skill, your choice, and gain proficiency with herbalism kit and poisoner's kit. Okay. Hands of healing. Your mythical touch can mend wounds as an action. You can spend 1 key point to touch a creature and restore a number of hit points equal to your martial arts die plus your wisdom modifier. When you use your Furies of Blows, you can replace one of your unarmed strikes with the use of this feature without expending a key slot. What? So it's like punch, 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 heal. That seems, I don't know if that's like for someone else that you can heal them in the act. Oh, okay. It's kind of a bit weird because I thought Fury of Blows was against like an attack. I can't remember if it's against one creature or if you can choose the attacks and where they're going. That seems strange. Hands of Harm. You use your key to inflict wounds. When you hit a creature with an unarmed strike, you can spend 1 key point to deal extra necrotic damage equal to 1 roll of your martial arts die. If the creature is incapacitated or poisoned, the creature instead takes necrotic damage equal to 3 rolls of your martial arts die instead. You can use this feature only once on each of your turns. Jesus. Noxious Aura. As a bonus action, you spend 1 key point to turn your key into Aura of Toxic Miasma. The aura extends 5 feet from you in every direction, but not through total cover. It lasts for 1 minute until you're incapacitated or you dismiss it. No action required. While your aura is active, range attacks have disadvantage against you. Any other creature that starts its turn in the aura must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or become poisoned until the end of your next turn, and take poison damage equal to your wisdom modifier, maximum of 0 damage. Healing technique. Your skill in manipulating your key to heal increases. When you restore hit points to a creature using your Hands of Healing, you can also end 1 disease or a condition from the following list affecting the target: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. Okay. Hands of Mercy. Your mastery of life energy opens the door to the ultimate respite technique. As an action, you can touch a creature, expend 4 key points, and force the creature to make a Constitution saving throw. Creature can willingly fail the save. Unless the save succeeds, the creature enters a state of suspended animation for a number of days equal to your monk level or until you end the effect early. No action required. During this time, the creature's paralyzed, has immunity to all damage, and any curse, disease, or poison affecting is suspended. The creature appears dead to all outward inspection, and spells used determine the creature status. You can only have one creature under the effects at any time. Rule tip: you're a creature. A creature is anything that, yes, basically what a creature is. That is weird. I don't know. That seems like a bit out there for me. Just with the monk and like how you have a punch, and then with one of the final punches you can heal someone with it. I don't know. That does not seem very, I don't know, well thought out. I get the idea they're going with like the plague doctors with the kind of the beaked noses and stuff and the eyeglasses. Just don't get it. Don't get the idea of it at all. I get the concept of it. I just don't get how it relates to a monk. I would understand how it more so relates to maybe a paladin or a cleric or even a druid. Just not a monk. I get monks are kind of like those. They can be kind of usually people who kind of extend themselves and become kind of what's the word? When they kind of just travel the world solely by themselves, they can kind of become that. But like the same thing can be said for a cleric or a paladin or a monk, or not a monk, a druid. Like for me, a druid would fit this kind of style a lot better. Just it feels like that's how it feels. This just I don't know. Even if you went rogue would be more sensible. Like for the kind of an assassin style, like they're going around maybe healing people and then killing people, and they're doing it stealthily. I don't get that. I don't think a monk is the right balance, right cohesive class to implement that archetype. So at third level we have the paladin, or paladin's archetype, sacred oath feature, oath of the watchers. Paladins who vow the oath of, who vow the oath of watchers seek to protect the mortal realm from predations of external creatures, many of which can lay waste to mortal soldiers. Thus do watchers hone their minds, spirits, and bodies to be the ultimate weapons against such threats. Paladins who follow the watcher's oath are ever vigilant in spotting the influence of the extraplanar forces, often establishing a network of spies and informants to gather information on suspected cults. To a watcher, keeping a healthy suspicion and awareness about one's surrounding is as natural as wearing armor in battle. Okay, so the tenets of the Watchers. Paladin who assumes the Oath of Watchers swears to safeguard the mortal realm from otherworldly threats. Vigilant, the threats you face are cunning, powerful, and subversive. Be ever alert for their corruption. Loyalty. Never accept gifts or favors from fiends or those who truck with them. Stay true to your order, your comrades, and your duty. Discipline. You are the shield against the endless terrors that lie beyond the stars. Your blade must be forever sharp and your mind keen to survive what lies beyond. Okay, so we have oath spells. You gain oath spells at the paladin levels listed in the Oath of Watcher stable. See the sacred oath features, see how spells work. Okay, so we get Alarm and Chromatic Orb at third, Augury and Moonbeam at fifth, Counterspell and Non-Detection at ninth. Ooh, that's good. Aura of Purity and Banishment at 13th, and Hold Monster and Hallow at 17th. Hallow seems pretty powerful for that level. Or pretty low. I thought Hallow was like, I suppose it is a 5th level spell. Yeah, because I always forget that they're kind of battle mages, or battle wizards, but battle magic users. So that's kind of why they have a slightly higher or lesser spell levels. Channel Divinity. You gain the following Channel Divinity options. See the Sacred Oaths class feature for how Channel Divinity works. Watcher's Will. You can use your Channel Divinity to invest your presence with the warding power of your faith. As an action, you can choose a number of creatures you can see within 30 feet of you, up to a number equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of one creature for 1 minute. All the chosen creatures have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throw. Abjure the Extraplanar. You can use your Channel Divinity to castigate unworldly beings. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and each elemental, fey, fiend, or aberration within 30 feet of you that can hear you must make wisdom saving throw, or on a failed save, the creature's turn for 1 minute, or until it takes damage. Okay. A turn creature must spend its turn trying to move as far away as you can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. For its action, it can only use the dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action. Aura of the Sentinel. You emit an aura of alertness while you aren't incapacitated. When you and any creature of your choice within 10 feet of you rolls initiative, you each gain a bonus to initiative equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of +1. At 18th level, the range for this aura increases to 30 feet. It's not too bad. Okay, that's not the worst. Maybe a bit better. Okay, so at least it's constantly active as long as you're conscious. Vigilant Rebuke. You've learned how to magically chastise anyone who dares cast unwanted spells at you and your wards whenever you or a creature you can see within 30 feet of you succeeds on a saving throw against a spell. You can use your reaction to deal 2d8 charisma modifier force damage to the spellcaster. Okay, kind of interesting. Force damage. Okay, I don't really get it. I get it if it's against you. Maybe. Mortal Bulwark. At 20th level, you manifest a spark of your deity's power in defense of your sacred oath. As a bonus action, you gain the following benefits for 1 minute. You gain true sight in a 120-foot radius. You have advantage on attack rolls against elementals, fae, fiends, and aberrations. When you hit a creature with an attack and deal damage to it, you can also force it to make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is magically banished to its native plane of existence if it's currently not there. On a successful save, the creature can't be banished by this creature for 24 hours. Once you use this bonus action, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. You gain true sight in a 120-foot radius. Is that how true sight works? Maybe I'm thinking blind sight. Because I thought it was just basically if you can see, you can see pretty much through everything. But like I wouldn't think it's a 100-foot radius because you can only see straight ahead, which would at least or 180 degrees, rather than 120-foot radius. Because the radius is the halfway point, so that's theoretically you can see 240 feet in a diameter, but it doesn't matter because you can always see 120 feet ahead of you. I don't really get that. I don't get the radius part of it for true sight. Unless if true sight is some sort of like radar detection thing, then yeah, of course it makes sense. But I thought it was just like line of sight kind of thing that you can see invisible people, you can see through glamour kind of spells, stuff like that. Alrighty, that's kind of weird, but let's get on to the Warlock, the Noble Genie. So here's our Otherworldly Patron feature. Genie seems a bit more planar rather than otherworldly. You made a pact with one of the rarest of the genie kind of Noble Genie. Such entities are rulers of vast fiefs on the elemental planes and have great influence over lesser genies and elemental creatures. Noble genies are varied in their motivations, but all are arrogant collectors of creatures, knowledge, and treasure. A genie values their collection and will protect that which they claim ownership over. Through your connection to the noble, you can leverage their influence and extend their own ownership of things in the multiverse. Okay, so we have expanded spell list. The Noble Genie lets you choose from an expanded spell list. When you learn a Warlock spell, the following spells are added to the Warlock spell list for you. First level, Fog, Cloud, and Sleep. Second, Enlarge, Reduce Phantasmal Force, Create Food and Water, Protection from Energy. Third, at fourth, Polymorph, Phantasmal Killer. Fifth, Big Beast Hand and Creation. Collector's Vessel. Your patron gives you a magical vessel which you can bind a creature to you and to your patron's menagerie. The vessel is a tiny object and its spellcasting focus for you. You can decide what the object is, or you can determine what it is randomly by rolling on the collector's vessel table. Oil, lamp, urn, ring with a compartment, stoppered bottle, hollow statuette, ornate lantern. If you lose your vessel, you can perform a 1-hour ceremony to receive a placement from your patron. The ceremony can be performed during a short rest. The ceremony can be performed during a short or long rest, and it destroys the previous vessel. The vessel vanishes in a flare of elemental power when you die. As an action, when you are holding the vessel, you target a willing creature you can see within 100 feet of you create a tether of wispy elemental material that links you to the target to you. The tether lasts for 1 hour until you use this feature to create another tether until the bound target is reduced to 0 hit points or until the target ends its turn more than 100 feet from you. While you're tethered to a creature, you gain the following benefits. You gain a bonus to your wisdom perception checks equal to your charisma modifier +1. When you cast a spell, you can deliver the spell from your space or the bound creature space. You can create a tether a number of times equal to your charisma modifier minimum once, and regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So we have the Collector's Vessel and Pact Boons. When you create a tether from your Collector's Vessel, the tether takes on a form that reflects your patron's type of genie kind: swirling mist and wind for a genie, sand and flecks of rock or gems for a dao, smoke and embers for a Ifriti, a foamy waters for a Marid. You gain the Pact Boon feature at 3rd level. If you choose a boon that grants you a physical object, your vessel transforms into the object. For example, a Warlock whose patron is a Noble Ifriti and chooses the Pact of the Tome might find their bottle transformed into an elaborate scroll made of a red dragon's wing with brass and iron rolling rods. What? I'm so confused by that thing. Elemental resistance. Your patron grants you protection from an element whenever you finish a long rest. You can gain resistance to acid, cold, fire, or lightning damage, your choice, until the end of your next long rest. While the tether of the Collector's Vessel is active, the tethered creature gains resistance to this damage type you choose. Protective Wish. You're now able to use your Collector's Vessel to wish for protection for yourself or your tethered creature. If you or the tethered creature is hit by an attack, you can use the reaction to teleport, swapping places with the creature and switching one of you is hit by the attack. Okay, it's kind of interesting. Genie's Entertainment. As an action, you attempt to send a creature you can see within 90 feet of you to your patron's court. The target must succeed on a charisma saving throw against your Warlock spell save DC or be magically drawn into your vessel and teleported to your patron's court and the elemental planes. While there, the target is stunned and your patron marvels at the target with amusement but brings no harm to it. The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turn, reappearing in the space it left or the nearest unoccupied space if that space is occupied on success. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. If the target remains in your patron's court for 1 minute, the genie sends the target back at the end of its turn as if it successfully saved, and you regain the use of this feature. Okay, that's a bit of a weird one as well. Collector's Call. In exchange for extending your patron's influence over the multiverse, you can call on more of their power. As an action, you can implore your patron for aid by making a charisma persuasion check against your Warlock spell save. If the check succeeds, you can choose one of the following effects. A creature you can see within 60 feet of you regains 8d6 hit points and ends one disease or condition afflicting it: blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, paralyzed, or poisoned. A creature you can see within 60 feet of you has disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws until the start of your next turn. You can cast a legend lore spell without material components. That's kind of cool. Whether the check succeeds or fails, you can't use this feature again until you finish a long rest. Alternatively, you can regain the use of this feature by sacrificing non-magical treasure worth at least 500 gold pieces to your patron. This sacrifice requires the treasure to be within 10 feet of you for at least 1 minute, and at the end of which you use the action to teleport the treasure to your patron's realm, provided you have the vessel of your Collector's Vessel in hand. Okay, that's another weird one. I like the elemental resistance and the protective or wish. Those seem kind of cool. And so does the tethering to a creature. It seems a bit crazy to have to constantly keep tethering yourself over and over again. It would be cooler if you could just tether yourself and be permanently tethered until that creature dies, and then having to recast it, maybe like a find familiar kind of thing, and lowering these abilities by a tiny amount. Genie's Entertainment, that's a bit of a weird spell. It's kind of like banishment essentially, but nothing happens to it. Like if it was a banishment and then on each of its turn it remained in its realm, maybe it takes 1d4 damage of the element that your Djinn is from. That'd be kind of a cool little feature. Like, oh, you're in the fire plane, right in front of a fire genie. You're encased in magic that's brought you there, but the heat of the fire realm is melting you to the core and take 1d4 fire damage this turn, and then every turn you're in there 1d4. Just like you're not just sitting there going, da, 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 I'm just going to stay here and hopefully nothing ever happens to me, and this weird genie guy's looking at me, smiling at me, not doing anything, like a fucking sick, vindictive weirdo. I don't know. And the Collector's Call, same thing. That's pretty much like the Divine Intervention kind of thing, but you kind of get a bit better odds on it. I don't know. It seems a bit off for me. Definitely one of the not best Unearthed Arcana supplements that we've been given. There's definitely been better. I think this one's a bit lacking. I think some of the things are a bit lackluster. Like, I'm looking at it and some of them are just like, they don't really seem cohesive with the class or the kind of flavor they're going for. I don't know. I don't really enjoy it because the Path of the Beast, there's so much more you could do with it, and it just seems lacking. Same with the Monk. The Monk doesn't really make sense for me stylistically for choice class-wise. I would have gone Druid, maybe. Just Druid, Cleric, Paladin. Those make more sense to me stylistically than a Monk. Paladin is a bit weird just with the whole, like, don't get me wrong, the stats and everything, it adds up and all the abilities seem okay. It's just, it seems a bit weird. I guess Paladin is the kind of like the defense between the realms and whatnot, you could say. So that kind of makes sense, but they're kind of going with the, it would have been good in the last one we got with the Psionics. That's kind of like from a different far realm kind of vibe. That would have been perfect for that kind of style, because like we have fucking Path of the Beast, weird plague doctors, people who are protecting the far realms, and then we have, what was the last guy? Oh yeah, magic genie powers, Warlock Genie. So rub a magic lamp and you get all the powers. Like, there's just no cohesion with the theme of this at all, and like even if there was, I think the classes are just so kind of like up and down, and their abilities seem kind of lackluster. I don't get it. For me, it's a bit like, I don't think so. I don't know. But, yeah, what do you guys think of it? Leave a comment below on what you guys think of it. Am I overreacting? I think they're a bit blah. I feel like I've made some better homebrew stuff myself. If you want to check them out, I'll put a link in the description for them as well. But yeah, I didn't think they were particularly great. Seems a bit lackluster. If this is their like the start to 2020, you're taking a fucking piss poor turn of it. At least they have the new Critical Role book coming out. That might kickstart them a bit and maybe give them some new ideas. Maybe that's why this is kind of shit, because they put all the good stuff into Matt's book, or at least their good suggestions into Matt's book. I don't know. But anyway, so let's end the video here. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.